Hey there. We're gonna do sort of a reading, but not quite a reading. Normally I sit down. This is my cozy little recliner, and I do my own readings for me, and I record them. And today I just feel like recording one to talk to other people and see what's going on. Basically, I already pulled two cards that fell out while I was getting over here in the chair. And we're a little awkward in the chair today because I hurt my tailbone yesterday. And I think it just means my root chakra is like awake and temperamental. The card that fell out of the Fairy Oracle is the Topsy-Turvets, which I call the Topsy-Turvies. And this is why it's like part reading, part just human conversation. For some reason, like human just needs to happen right now. And I was like thinking about like both in my life and people nearby and afar that I know of. It just seems like there's like parts of the systems have like broken down. Like I had to take care of some stuff because I had filled out a form that said do not submit over to this department, and the person handling it just figured, well, it's easier for me and less work if I submit it to that department. So she submitted it that department. So I spent the week trying to clear up that mess because it wasn't supposed to go there, but it was easier for her. It just was harder for me, and it didn't need to go there. And like we were trying to find out if a place was available for my mother's repass, and we got the prices, we got the form to fill out, and they're like, well, after you fill out the form, we'll let you know if the date you want is available. And we're like, how many times do we fill out the form before we get to go, bingo, we found the date that's available? And it's just lots of weird little, like, this is not even a logical strand, it seems like, from one end. The topsy-turvies. Turbits. I will read from here because it will explain if you're experiencing some of those things. And what I'm also noticing lately, just as I'm going around and, you know, where I live, we're all getting ready to hunker down for a snowstorm and to be in sub-zero temps and stuck at home for a while. So, I mean, there were so many little kind gestures. It seemed like everything that was related to a system, it's like things are glitched. But when you came to the human part, like one of those, I had to stop at a convenience store, and there's at least 5 of us in line waiting, and people tend to not like waiting in the line or in the queue. And the gentleman behind the counter, he was checking out a customer who had a walker, and the door out of the building was right next to the register. It's just a couple feet away. And he asked, are you going? And he went ahead and he held the door open so she didn't have to, with her walker, juggle the door and everything. And when I had gone into the place, there were 3 of us women showing up to the door at the same time. And I'm like, well, one of us has to grab the door, so I might as well jump for it. So I grabbed the door and got it for the 3 of us. And it's just all these little things where it's like these very small, kind gestures are still, I wanted to say, like rampantly abounding, or like rampant. They're out there. They're all over. These little kind gestures amidst like this sort of chaos, this topsy-turvy feeling of systems with little glitches. And so we'll get onto that. Like I also, when I was sitting down, like I told you, this is like kind of more human than card-based. So I'll probably be like a little bit personal in what I talk about. This is like totally not a kind of reading that I do, but today seemed like a day to do it. I don't know. When I pulled out the Moonology card, I was just really drawn to, it's the North Node. Step out of your comfort zone. So I don't know. I mean, we might have, because of the nodal shifts happening into Pisces and Virgo, that may be playing a role in what's sort of going on with people, but we'll get a little bit further. We'll get some clarifiers on this. And although generally like maybe 14 people watch my videos and that's about it, if you do happen to know anything about astrology and you want to drop it in the comments, I would love to find out. I've been Googling this like crazy and I can't find it. I have Pisces and Virgo eclipsed in my chart, in my birth chart. So like, what does it mean when the nodes go into the signs that are eclipsed in your birth chart? Does anyone know that? I cannot find that information. I'm not that good with astrology or anything. But let me know in the, if you know, please do, like, give me some information on that. Because I was like, I have a feeling like this is a big deal. Like, the nodes are going into my eclipsed house signs. So let's get back to topsy-turvies. Anyway, if you are experiencing this energy in your life, you may still be watching this because, well, you're feeling about the same as me a little bit. So, and I did want to stop and also say, because I had a bunch of things to go take care of before I came to sit down and do this. And it was just this really interesting reminder that, like, it's okay to talk about yourself and be personal. And, like, it's almost like people who vlog about their life or whatever and focus less on the cards and the this and that. Like, it was just like there's needed to be this moment where we, like, go, let's see each other as human beings and let's understand that human beings are a part of spirit. They're a part of the divine, and our human lives, every single aspect of it is a part of the whole, is a part of how spirit is interacting with us, with others. Even that holding the door for somebody, or that gentleman coming around the counter to make sure that he could open the door for the woman with the walker. And with that, I'm reminded to say something, because the same guy who was at the checkout counter and working at the convenience store, I really wish I knew his name. Usually when I go in there, he's not very talkative and he just doesn't seem social, but he was really friendly when I went yesterday. And he even started talking, because what I was getting was blue. And he was like, oh, you got 2 blue things. You must like blue. And you remember, you know, have you ever heard of Picasso? He went through a blue phase. So for some of you, maybe looking up Picasso's blue phase might kind of resonate with you or something like that. I haven't looked it up, and it's been so long since I had that information in my brain that it's like, it's just gone. But there's something about the blue phase, and something about just remembering that, like, washing the dishes is an act of spirituality. Holding the door open for someone is an act of spirituality. It's not all cards and messages and all of that. I mean, that stuff is, and it's important for, you know, if that's a part of your spiritual work, that is absolutely important. It doesn't lessen the importance of those things that we see as spiritual acts and use tools, but everything is, in a way, something that can be used in a spiritual, by the divine self, by the higher self, and by the divine. I don't know why I just said divine self. That's a very interesting term. I'm going to have to contemplate that one later. That's really, it's kind of like where your higher self connects with the divine, I guess. I would say that, like, the divine self is that tiny little, like, itty bitty atom of connection between the divine and yourself, where, like, everything comes in through that tiny little thing. I don't know why. It's like smaller than a grain of sand. That little connection is what I'm seeing. And that's where it all comes in, through that, like, tiniest little thing. So there's something about the tiniest little things. All right, so 9 minutes into this, let's, like, actually, like, find out what this card's about. So topsy-turvies, turbits, and I will read some of this so you get a gist of it. It is the Fairy Oracle, Brian Froud. Change of viewpoint, fresh looks. I'll hold this up. There is something interesting about the card picture I will show you later in a moment. Fresh looks, change of viewpoint, new ways of seeing things. And I'm just going to read this paragraph here. When life is confusing, the turvets may come visit you. Nothing draws them like a bit of mental muddle. They don't cause our disarray. We are good at doing that for ourselves and each other, but they are attracted to it. Confusion is an important stage of growth, and they delight in helping things grow. They live everywhere. Not only humans need their help and are exceedingly busy. So if they show up, and when they show up, it indicates that someone needs to look again, to make an effort to see things from a different point of view. It suggests that confusion may exist because we are asking the wrong questions, or perhaps have made assumptions that are incorrect, and we have run into a brick wall built of those misconceptions. I started to be like, no, that's not what's going on. There's some glitches in the system. But I read on, and it pointed out some things that I thought were really important later. I'll show you. The Turvets ask us to back up, to question our assumptions, and to try to see things from the viewpoints of the other people involved in our muddle. They ask us to stop saying ought and should, especially about other people. And they say, you know, trying to see things as they really are instead of as one thinks they should be. And it can be a warning that someone involved in the question or issue at hand is mentally upside down or possibly sideways. So yes, there might be some kind of a glitch in the systems. In a reading, it usually suggests we need to look at things from a different angle, back off from our emotional entanglement, and just take a fresh look. Much of the confusion can sometimes be caused by like a faulty viewpoint. And to get honest opinions from others, and then relook at your own. Defensiveness and denial may be causing some difficulty. I don't really feel like that's the energy that's here. So I'm going to skip over some of these things. Because this topsy-turvy thing, I'm not feeling like it's an internal problem. I mean, for some people, you may be going through changes of how you see things, and it's kind of like got you feeling a little topsy-turvy. But that's not a fault kind of line. Like, we need to like take a different look at this because that's what's causing a problem. That there's some of you who would like probably already be in the process of reassessing your viewpoints as part of your growth currently. It says to remember to pause to listen for hints from the Turvets themselves. They are experts in the field. So you might have a little bit of insight and answer on a glitch or what's going on just by listening to the wee folk is like, for some reason, I think some of you have, if you have any spirit guides and what have you around you that are sometimes, you know, tiny little ones that don't appear too often, but usually leave a trail of breadcrumbs for you to follow to get to where you need to go. You may notice that they're leaving you some breadcrumbs or just showing up to say, hey, I'm here. Do you want to know what I know? Some of them might be around. So, and there is no reversal for this card. Now, I want to show you something because I was very much against this idea of trying to take a look at things from a different viewpoint. And this isn't a new deck to me, this particular deck, but I've had it before many years ago, and I had a very lively troop of fairies that came with it. This deck is a very more solemn one. I got it shortly after my mom's passing, so they came with a bit more reverence than the first group, which I equated to having like 3 kindergarten classrooms running around my house all the time, and eventually had to get rid of the cards. Because they just 24/7 were going and going and going and going. So this is much quieter, more reverent deck, troop of fairies that comes with this. But I had, even when I had the deck years back, thought that this card was the same as, this is the front, the back. I thought it was the same as the back of the card, which this was the first time I was like, I actually re-examined this card and I was like, wait a second, I don't think how does this guy turn into that guy when you turn it upside down? And it's like, wait a second, no, it doesn't. I'm like, wait. And then I went back to here and I looked, because this is the back of the deck. And I was like, okay, so you got this guy here, you got this guy here. When you turn it upside down, you got your eyes adjust after a while. Here's his little nose, here's his little nose. And you can see the both ways that it goes. But they do. Like, everybody seems right side up, whichever way we look at them. They're all looking right side up. Like, especially this one. Like, the red hat goes here, the red hat goes there. You flip it around, and now your eyes can probably see it because I'm looking at it too. Okay, but then I also noticed there's only 3 points here. And there's 4 points here, and I just noticed as I looked at it, there's 3 little dots in here, which I think are eyeballs, and there's only 2 here. So there is a little smidgen of information. There's something in a fine detail somewhere for all of us to know about. So that was just a very interesting little thing. I don't know where to go from here. I do not know where to go from here. And honesty is here. Just kind of says it all. Honesty. So those are the cards that came out. That was kind of like a personal kind of endeavor, monologue, basically, of my own things. I hope some of that resonates. Now, there's a total shift in everything. And I'm actually confused after turning those cards back and forth. I am sorry to do that. If you're feeling confused right now, I'm sorry. I did not realize turning those cards up and down was going to do that. So the North Node thing. So we're looking at the North Node going into North and South Node going into Pisces and Virgo. Virgo, which North Node I think is in... I don't know. Astrology people, you know what the deal is. We're going to like take a deeper look at this one. Each deck. We're going to pull out a tarot deck for this. If you hear like okay, my dog just stopped doing it. I have, all right, so here we go. I'm going to try not to drop the camera. If you like hear some animal snoring. Oh, this is Julia. You wake up a little bit to say hello? Okay. All right. And this is like me, like, sitting funky on the recliner because my tailbone, root chakra, or whatever the heck is going on. Okay. All right. We're going to get a little more coffee here. Do we want, like, to pull some stuff from the Tea Leaf Tarot to get, like, random messages, like, charms? I'm seriously not even sure. This is like not a planned out reading of any kind. And I did just realize you're pretty much looking at Julia's butt here. Maybe I need to adjust this a little bit more so you're not looking at my dog's ass. Okay. I mean, I don't want you really looking at my face either, but here, we'll just like, we'll give her a little bit of privacy. Oh, okay, then we can shift this down now because, like, Cutie Pie just decided to nestle up down here. Okay, cutie. All right, so I warned you this wasn't actually going to be like a reading. It was just going to be like a sit and whatever. And I do have Sipping Through the Snow because we are expecting to get snow. And we have this, which is on, we're going to do the Tarot of the She, which is, you know, a fairy deck. And this is actually really cool. And I'm kind of keep this here. It's a very nice little symbol there. I don't know why I'm showing you that. Okay, so let's get a little serious here. I feel like we are getting a little serious. We got the topsy-turvies. I'm going to tuck those away and just put that, I'm going to close up that energy there. I just feel like we might get confused. I think it's confusing me, so I'm going to just, there we go. We're going to close that up, and we are going to look at this stepping out of your comfort zone North Node thing. It really does feel like we're in for some big changes. in the digital realm. I get that. And I kind of noticed some of it changing already, but who knows what. Let's see. I don't know if this card has any... I just put away the North Node. I just completely put it away and tucked it at the bottom of the deck. I don't think we're talking about the North Node, so you're going to have to like look that one up on your own, because that just went away and a card came out. We have the Dreamer Queen. Okay. Here's the Dreamer Queen. This is the Queen of Swords, and her keyword in this particular deck is Gift of Reason. And it's just, she's really examining like this mask. Sorry about the glare there. She's like studied a lot, gathered a lot of information, and it's almost like she's like, I can see exactly through this mask, this face, what it really is. There's something really keen on that. The sun just illuminating, and it's like, it almost doesn't have a body. Does it even have a body? I'm going to show it to you. Like, maybe it could be like she has this strange little bird in her hand. So that may be some of it. I'm going to like see if I can get an even closer picture for you. It looks like a strange little bird in her hand. And there's a Tori Amos song called Strange Little Girl. I think that's the name of the song. I kind of feel like that's a fitting something for this. I'm going to listen to that afterwards. And it's something like, strange little girl, where are you going? Strange little girl. Where are you going? Maybe some of you are trying to figure out where you're going, what all these changes mean, and how you want to head with them. And I'm like, you almost have like the dragon wings or bat wings here, and there's something amphibious about this. It's sort of like you can go on land, you can go in the air, you can go on sea, and there's a wealth of knowledge that you're seated on. And it's just this new bird. Something there. Let me get some clarifiers out. That's kind of cool. All right, so let's find out more here of what's going on. Somebody here wants to come out. This one here, I think, has a little bit more. It felt like there was a bunch of information that could come out, but we're not pulling out all of that information right now. So there is something to do with there being more information, lots of information, and sorting through a bunch of information. So what we have, okay, yeah, I'm sort of getting the feel that this is like strange little girl, strange little bird, male or female, whatever. Don't worry about the gender when it's mentioned. It doesn't necessarily apply to anything. It's just adapt the words. Yeah, strange little girl, where are you going? I can't remember any more of the lines, and my phone is, my camera, I can't pull it up. So yeah, I'm gonna have to drop that in, because the next card we had come out was the Fool. And it's so interesting because, yeah, it is like a Tori Amos song. If you know about Tori Amos, just like red hair. And look at how it's like, the Fool is like out in the cornfield as a scarecrow. And it's like, I don't know, there's this feeling of like, this little bird decided to say, oh, heck with you, you think you can scare me away? I've stared down the queen. And I am going to scare away all you crows that are going to get in my way. I'm going to, like, you think you're going to scare the birds away? I'm going to scare you away. It's something, there's something really interesting. I don't know. What's your take on that? Is this strange little bird a nuisance, though? I can't figure it out because it feels like it could be either one. Like this could be like the little gremlin that's the glitch and everything, and the fool's like, get out and away, or that gremlin decides to go over here and turn into like, I didn't like those other birds in my field, so I'm going to put this scarecrow up and have the field all to myself. I don't know where that came from. Okay, that was an interesting little story there. Yeah, it's like, I want the field all to myself. I don't know where that's coming from. Take it however you want there. Can we like get more information? Do you get the idea that like I have no idea what I'm doing here? Like, yeah, so usually I just sit here and I do a reading for myself in the afternoon or late morning, but today, I don't know, with snow coming in and snowed in, I just felt like feeling like at least I was talking to another human being. Whether or not a human being watches this, I do not know. Here's the star. Okay, I'm going to go with, there's two different stories here. We have the little bird as a gremlin, who we just discussed, decides to be like, I don't want to have to share my beautiful field of corn with all those big birds out there. I'm going to scare them all off and I'm going to keep it all for myself. Okay, I don't know where that story's coming from, but there you go. Or why I'm talking that way. Or we have the strange little bird. Where are you going? You're going to heal. You're going to light your candle. You can, let me just take a look, because I think she's literally, yeah, if you look, I'll try not to get too much glare on there so you can really see this card. It is the Tarot of the She, if you're wondering. It's, okay, the box and everything is over there. I can't show you right now. Maybe I'll put it in the description if I remember something. If you look at it, and this is technically at her throat chakra, you know, and if your pronouns aren't her, then just take it as it goes for you. He, they, them, however. And it's coming from the strange little bird's throat, right? From the throat, right? So it's that throat chakra thing. It's the speaking, the voice. And yet without even having to move her lips, it's like the voice radiates from the eyes. And it's interesting how intense these eyes are on the queen. And it's like, that's that little tiny bird, even though it's strange and it's little and it's not like the other ones, it has that wisdom and it knows how to speak, even without having to say a word. It knows how to look at a person to communicate, and it knows how to read and hear what people are saying through just observing them. That was one really cool little bird. I can't wait to listen to that Tori Amos song again. I haven't listened to that in a long time. What else do we need to know? 28 minutes and 23 seconds. Should probably end this soon. Yeah. It's like one more card wants to come out. I'm being told to look at the bottom of the deck too. The World, which sometimes is the card that comes out at the bottom to tell me that things are over. Okay, we have Dancer 8, which is escaping stagnation, but it came out in reverse. But it also came next to the World. So I think we are finally looping back to... Dun, dun, dun. I can't even remember what the Eight of Swords is right now. The Eight of Swords is like feeling trapped. Okay. Because I always get that confused. I always think the Seven of Swords is your imprisonment. Simply because there's a line in a U2 song that I see seven towers, but I only see one way out. And so I always envision that the Eight of Swords when I hear those lyrics. I think it's in Running to Stand Still. I am totally dating myself and like letting you know how old I am, aren't I? But yeah, I see seven towers, but I only see one way out. And also in that song, it's some really beautiful, like beautiful words in there. It's you gotta cry without weeping, talk without speaking, which we just were talking about. We just said that. Talk without speaking, scream without raising your voice. And I think we can like there is, I took the poison from the poison stream. It is a song about addiction and stuff, but there's a lot of words in there that like do not have to apply to that. But yeah, talk without speaking, scream without raising your voice. And I guess that does equal up to 8 if there's 7 towers, but I only see one way out. And that actually pertained to like these 7 towers in the neighborhood where the writer of the lyrics lived. Yeah, I'm a YouTube fan, like it or not. What are we saying here? There's one way out and there's the world. I feel like we need to know a little bit something more here. And I do feel like we're kind of we are getting back to how I buried this step out of your comfort zone north node. Let's get a little bit more clarification here. So now we are going into the tower is behind that. And in this particular deck, a lot of people see this. It's not depicted as a tower. It's about breaking out of the shell that you're in. Here, let me give you, in case you've never seen this deck before, let me give you a better picture of it so you can take in the cards. These are really interesting. So in this, I hope that's like picking up okay. There's no actual tower, but you see like these pieces, it's like breaking it out, and the wings are just starting to open, and the light is just coming from, that whole, the crown chakra opening and everything, and just the rays coming out. And back to the bird thing, strange little bird, And I feel like there is a story of, we had talked about, there was like the scarecrow trying to scare the birds away. Get out of my field. But yeah, this strange little bird said, I'm going to do my thing. I'm not backing down. I can talk without talking and scream without screaming. And I am going to break out of my shell and fly. So, and with this, okay, here we go. 8 of Swords in reverse. Thank you for all figuring this out before I did. It's pretty much meaning, let's put the world back the way it's supposed to be. With the world upright, it means you've already been set free. Whatever it is that's going on, it's setting you free. Hey there, other strange little birds. I'm actually going to post this just to find out, like, just let me know in the comments. Are you a strange little bird too? Just want to know what other strange little birds might be about there. All right, I don't see any point in me rambling any further than the 33 on there. So that is my rambling, not really a reading, but we're just going to hang and play with cards. I might do this for a couple of days just because I'm snowed in and my dog doesn't really keep much conversation up with me, and she still doesn't like pulling cards. So she's really not interested in that. And we will end it with, here we go. Here's my little cutie pie. You want to say goodbye? Julie, you want to say goodbye to everybody? She doesn't even want to wake up for you. And this is who I'm going to be snowed in with. Take care, and let's all go. I gotta go listen to that song.